5 p.m. right now here in Moscow with RT International. Headlining today, Russia's foreign minister not ruling out a change of heart from Washington over the groundbreaking agreement that's been set out to remove the remaining militants from Aleppo, with talks on the city's crisis set to continue over the weekend, particularly Saturday in Geneva. However, meantime, there's still gunfire as militants continue their attacks amidst a surprise move by President Obama to open the doors to arming the rebels in Syria. We'll bring up speed on that. In other developments, more big news. Part 2 of the McLaren Report into doping in Russian sports being published in the last few hours. We look closer at the evidence. And a leading Dutch politician today has been convicted of hate speech just months before a general election in which his party is expected to make significant gains. Hi there, thanks for being with us. My name's Kevin Owen. A lot of focus on the top of this programme on the latest in Aleppo and Syria more generally. Before we go to our top story, I can tell you as a news alert, Russia's defence ministry has just been giving a media briefing on the latest situation in Aleppo. Let's see what's been said then.
Добрый день.
Good afternoon. Government forces continue with the operation to liberate eastern Aleppo from terrorists. As a result of a successful offensive, 52 neighborhoods in East Aleppo have been liberated. In the last 4 days, the territory controlled by rebel fighters has been reduced by 1/3. The Syrian army controls now 93% of the city's territory. I'd like to point out that these results have been achieved by ground forces of the Syrian army. The Russian Air Force has not operated in Aleppo since October 18th. Tens of tons of humanitarian aid are being delivered to the city. Medical assistance is being provided to civilians. The Russian Reconciliation Center assists to remove civilians from the areas still controlled by terrorists. Within the last day, over 10.5 thousand people have been evacuated from the terrorist-controlled area. Also, government forces have captured 30 terrorists. 1,096 terrorists have left the rebel-controlled territory. Some have been released, others are being checked. The Syrian government remains committed to the obligations it assumed as for bringing the participants in opposition groups, bringing them back to civilian life. Russian forces will continue to secure passages for civilians and members of NGOs live Aleppo. Civilians who were rescued from Aleppo report on atrocities committed by the rebel fighters in East Aleppo: torture, humiliation, public executions, and mass executions without a cause. All the crimes committed by rebel fighters are being documented by the officers of the Reconciliation Center. The liberated parts of the city are being cleared of mines by the Russian demining center. Specifically mines, IEDs, and unused ammunition. Key infrastructure objects and key roads are being cleared. 21 objects have been demined in the last day: schools, water treatment centers, 2 mosques, and other socially important facilities. Officers of the Reconciliation Center do their best to restore peaceful life in the liberated neighborhoods of the city and to provide aid to people who escaped from terrorists. Areas of Jibril and Al-Makhalej have seen 2 temporary shelters created to provide assistance to civilians who left the city, which provides hot food to everybody who needs it. The Russian Reconciliation Center has delivered over 270 tons of humanitarian aid to Aleppo. This includes food, medications, and other necessary items. 150 food distribution points have been deployed.
Продолжается работа по обеспечению соблюдения режима прекращения боевых действий на территории Сирийской Арабской
The work to ensure a ceasefire continues.
подписано и направлено в Российский центр по примирению
94 applications for cessation of hostilities have been signed and sent to the Russian Reconciliation Center. Agreements on cessation of hostilities have been signed with the heads of 1,040 towns of Khan and Sheikh and Etel have been fully liberated from terrorists. 3,600 people have been moved from Khan Sheikh to Idlib. This includes militants and members of their families. Also, security forces of Syria have amnestied over 2,000 people who desire to return to peaceful life. Over 3,000 have been moved to Idlib. 595 members of criminal groups have been amnestied. The remaining the buildings abandoned by terrorists are being checked and restored. We expect that soon civilians will be able to receive to Khan and Sheikh, Etel, and Aleppo, as well as other cities liberated from terrorists. Thank you.